doing, buddy? He hasn't seen me all day, so he's lonely. Okay. Do you like my new hair rocks? Hi and welcome to today's vlog. You may have noticed something different about me. It is the bags under my eyes. No, not really, they're always there. Obviously, it's my hair. I have been and had my hair done in a salon for the first time since way back in March. How exciting. I've gone for something just really subtle and understated. Yeah, just something a bit subtle. Don't want to, be too unnatural. So, yeah, I feel much more like myself now. I really do. I feel like I am me again. So that's great. Anyway, on my Instagram stories last week, I mentioned that I was feeling a little bit anxious and a little bit hypocritical about heading to a salon this week. I've been quite annoyed by people that have been out to pubs and people that haven't been maintaining social distancing as per the rules. So I felt like a bit of a hypocrite going to get my hair done. And so I talked about this on Instagram, and quite a few people, a lot of people, really kindly got in touch and basically told me not to worry, that going to the pub and having your hair done in a salon are two very completely different things and completely different sort of standards for social distancing. So yeah, I felt a lot better. So following those Instagram stories, quite a few people got in touch with me to ask if I would talk about what it was like to have your hair done in the middle of a pandemic. So that is what I'm going to talk about today. Now, I am talking specifically about the salon that I went to today. It is my regular hairdressing salon. It's one I've been to for years now. So I obviously cannot speak for other salons. I don't know what other salons are doing. And obviously this is specific to hairdressers. Beauty salons are still not allowed to open. So I'm talking specifically about hairdressers today, and more specifically about the hairdresser that I visit on a regular basis. If you are thinking of visiting a salon, then obviously head to their websites, head to their social media pages, give them a ring and double check what measures they're putting in place before you visit, so that you can keep yourself and your family safe, and they can keep themselves safe as well. So please check where you're going before you go. As I mentioned, the last time I had my hair done was way back in March. I already had a bunch of appointments booked in. So I was effectively held on a waiting list by my salon for when they reopened. A couple of weeks ago, when the government announced that certain restrictions would be lifted, including pubs, restaurants, salons, my salon announced on one of their social media, well, all of their social media pages, that they would be getting in touch with their existing clients that had existing appointments booked in to offer them new appointments ready for when they opened on the 4th of July. They also asked people if they wanted to be added to their waiting list for an appointment, then to do that as well. So great. All I had to do was wait for someone to give me a call and offer me an appointment. So after the government announced that they were lifting restrictions, my salon then had an opening date, and they gave me a call and asked if I wanted to book in for an appointment, which obviously I did. Of course I wanted to get my hair done. It's been so long. So they offered me an appointment, and they explained that things would be a little bit different. So for example, on the phone they advised me that I shouldn't bring sort of lots of belongings with me. If I could avoid taking a jacket, then that would be great, because at the moment they're unable to hang jackets up for you out of the way, and you don't want to get them covered in hair dye, especially when you dye your hair this colour. They also advised that they would be using disposable gowns and towels, so not their usual gowns. So they advised that I might want to wear something that wasn't my Sunday best, because they don't really know, they didn't know how the gowns were going to hold up to sort of that wet hair colour cutting environment. So they asked me when my appointment, so when I arrived for my appointment, they asked if I arrived sort of as promptly as possible, so not late. If I think I was allowed to be up to sort of 15 minutes late. If it was any later than that, they wouldn't be able to see me that day, which is fine. I'm never late for anything anyway. And they advised that I could be early, but if I was early, I might be asked to wait outside just to maintain social distancing inside the salon, because obviously they're limiting the appointments. They're giving them specific times so that they know how many people are in the salon at any one time, so they can maintain that social distance. So that was all great. And then in the weeks leading up to them reopening, they posted a lot of information on their website and their social media about what their sort of standards would be during this time. So that was really good. It was really good to know beforehand what measures they'd put in place to help keep themselves and their clients safe. So that was all really good. So I have here a list of their measures that they have put in place. And this is on their Instagram page. And they've also got this notice up within the salon as well, so you can read it when you arrive. So it says, things are a little different right now at Yoke as we do everything we can to keep our staff and guests safe. We ask that you read through our new salon guidelines below. Rest assured, the entire team has completed additional training and received certificates from L'Oreal Professional Barbicide UK and the Institute of Hospitality. So it says, please wear a mask. We will be wearing our visors. Please sanitize your hands upon entering. Your temperature will be taken on arrival. Please observe social distancing whilst inside the salon. Disposable gowns, towels, capes, etc. will be provided. We will be sanitizing all stations and tools between guests. We will only provide water in disposable paper cups. We are unable to offer magazines or books at present. If you're feeling unwell, please rearrange as soon as possible. And then it says, please note we have completed additional training from L'Oreal, Barbicide and the government to ensure a safe environment. If you wish to see our COVID-19 risk assessment, please ask. We continue to work towards being as sustainable as possible. Our single capes and towels are made from bamboo, and the paper cups provided for water are just paper minus the nasties. We use eco heads at our basin, which reduce water usage by up to 65%. All our team are using recycled water bottles with straws so that they do not need to remove their visors to stay hydrated. Our rubbish continues to go to DCW, who maintain a zero to landfill policy. So one of the things I really like about my salon is how sustainable and how eco-friendly they are. So the fact that even though they can't use their usual reusable gowns, they have found a sustainable alternative. So brilliant. I've been anxious about heading out to the hairdressers because I think whilst you can control your own social distancing measures, you can't control anyone else's. So you don't really know what to expect. And the fact that Yoke have been really good at letting their clients know what's happening, why it's happening, when it's happening, that's really good, and it really helps to put you at ease. So yeah, I arrived this morning at the salon promptly and on time. As always, I'm usually really early, so I had to make a conscious effort to arrive on time instead of early. I annoyingly had to take a jacket with me because it was really horrible and drizzly this morning. I chose to take a really lightweight jacket that I could just sort of fold up really small and sit on, basically, so it wasn't in the way. I didn't take a bag. I just put my sort of the bank cards and things I needed in my pocket, so I wasn't taking big bags with me. And I wore this scabby old vest. So I was good to go. On arrival, I had my mask on, and I was asked to sanitize my hands. There was hand sanitizer provided on the reception desk, so I sanitized my hands and my temperature was taken. Everything was fine, so I was asked to take a seat. As I was waiting, I noticed that the stylists and the staff in the salon were sanitizing the workspaces and their is equipment the right word, like their combs and brushes and stuff and their scissors. That was all being sanitized. They were sanitizing themselves. Everyone had a visor on, which was really good to see. So yeah, I waited a minute or so before my stylist called me over and sat me down. She then popped one of their recyclable gowns. She then popped one of their disposable gowns on me and all the necessary like capes and bits to keep you covered up. We talked about what I was after from my hair today. We talked about the condition of it, which actually surprisingly wasn't too bad. My hair goes through a lot, and whilst I have been in lockdown and unable to get my hair done regularly, I have been hair masking and conditioning like it's going out of fashion. So actually the condition of my hair wasn't too bad. Lots of dead ends, obviously, where it needed cutting. It sort of had grown a lot. My undercut had grown a lot, despite Neil shaving it for me a few times during lockdown. So it was in need of a really good cut, a wash and a colour, and it really needed thinning out as well because my hair grows really thick. So we talked about that for a little while, and then we got to work. So great. My appointment went much as it always does, really. It wasn't really any different. I had all the treatments I usually have done. I had a lovely head massage like I always have, and I think that's honestly my favourite part of the experience, is that head massage. Somebody needs to teach my husband to do those. As I was sat there, you could sort of see around you that every time a new client came in, everything was disinfected and sanitized before the next person sat down. Before I sat at the basin to have my hair washed, that was all sanitized and wiped down. There was lots of social distancing within the salon, so they've reduced the amount of clients that they have in a day. So they've reduced the amount of appointments. They've reduced the amount of appointments that are available in the day at the moment, but they are opening for extra days and for longer, just to sort of get through this backlog. So the salon is laid out so that you have a stylist and a client, and then an empty chair, stylist and a client, empty chair, and so on. So there's lots of space between everyone. They are also asking you, again, just so that not every chair is filled, I was asked to go and take a seat in the waiting area so that someone else could come and nobody was sat too close to each other. So that was all really great. It was just really good. Yoke in Royal William Yard are doing a really, really good job at implementing all those social distancing measures, and yet still making you feel like you're having a really calming and pampering experience, which is really good, because I worried it would be a little bit intense. My sort of experience of the outside world lately has been the hospital, and the hospital during a pandemic is pretty intense. Everyone's covered in gowns and masks, and it's a little bit scary, especially if you suffer from health anxiety. So to see them doing everything they can to maintain social distancing and follow all the guidelines put in place by the government, and yet still sort of create that calming, happy atmosphere is really good. And I really liked that. So there was water and disposable cups available should you want a drink. They advised that you should get your coffee fix before you go on one of their Instagram posts. So that was really good. There is hand sanitizer everywhere, so you can sanitize your hands every 5 seconds should you so wish. The stylists themselves were really good about hand washing, sanitizing. You could see that they were really following the guidelines, which is great, is really good. And honestly, the visors are horrible. I have had to put on a visor in the past, and they're not easy to see from. They are a little bit claustrophobic. Having that band around your head all day gives you unbelievable hat hair. It's so yeah, I really feel for them having to wear them, but they're all doing a really great job. They're all the same lovely smiley people that they always are. So that just really helped the experience. So yeah, great. So what can you expect from a salon during a pandemic? I would say if you've got a really good salon and they're following all the rules that they should be following, they're putting into practice all the practices that they should be following, then there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't go and get your hair done and have a really great couple of hours of self-care. It's not that scary. It was nice to be out of the house, and it was nice to be out of the house and not at the hospital. So big, huge thanks to Yoke for just maintaining a safe and calming environment today. Brilliant stuff. My advice for you, if you're heading to the hairdressers, is chances are, if you already had an appointment booked in that had to be cancelled because of the pandemic, chances are you were on their waiting list and you've already been called. If perhaps you weren't on anyone's waiting list and you're waiting to go and get your hair done, do some research first. See what the salons are doing, see what they're offering, see what practices they're putting in place. Check that they are social distancing as per the guidelines that they've been given to reopen. Check before you go, because you're risking their health and you're risking your own health if you don't, I think, personally. So check them out. Everyone has Facebook pages and Instagrams and Twitters and websites these days. If they don't, you can ring the salon directly and ask what measures they've got in place just to keep yourself safe, and to keep them safe. They've got to go back to work. They've got to earn a living. So protect them and protect yourself so that they continue to earn a living. I think that's really important. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to sort of be anxious about, provided the hairdressers that you are going to is doing everything that they should be. There's nothing to be panicked about. There's nothing to worry about. And actually, I am all for getting a little bit of pampering at the moment. We've had a really tough few months, and I think we all deserve a little bit of self-care, and getting your hair done is a brilliant form of self-care. And I am sure there have been a lot of lockdown hair disasters, and a lot of salons are offering a non-judgy place to fix those disasters for you, so that's great too. Like I said, this is my personal experience at the hairdressers that I visit on a regular basis. I cannot tell you what it's going to be like in any other hairdressing salon. My advice, as I have mentioned before, is check it out before you go. If you're not happy, don't go. My experience today at Yoke, the salon in Plymouth, was fantastic. I always have a lovely experience there. It's a really lovely salon there. I've known some of the stylists in there for quite some time now, and they're always so friendly, and they're always completely prepared to do whatever mad thing I ask for my hair, and that's great. They always make you feel really at ease, and I really like that. And to make you feel at ease at what is a time of quite high anxiety is really nice too. So I would like to say a massive thank you to everybody that was in Yoke today. As always, I'm thrilled with my hair. You are doing an absolutely fantastic job at social distancing and putting all the measures in place that should have been put in place, and that's all really, really good. So yeah, don't be afraid to visit your salon. but check it out first and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing to keep their clients safe. I think that's really important. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, then give me a thumbs up, but don't forget to subscribe, and I will be back soon with another video.